Focus shift is bad in photography. It leaves you with blurry photos. On the SAT, though, you might have a question about shift in focus. My name is Paul Psolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 5, Section 1, number 32, which reads, over the course of the passage, the main focus shifts from a discussion of an experiment and its results to what? Now, some keys here. Number one is it says main focus shifts. So you do have to pay attention to the main focus shift. What you might find in these types of questions is that there's arguably more than one major shift in focus, in which case you just want to keep an open mind and look at your answer choices. Chances are if you pick out all the major shifts in focus, there's only going to be one answer choice that matches that. If there is more than one that matches it, then one of those is considered a minor rather than the main focus shift. So we go to the passage, and we're just going to, for the sake of just time, we're going to go right to the answer. So this beginning part is talking all about, hey, is the crowd wiser than you, or is it not? And so this paragraph's like, well, yeah, if you're working with numbers, guessing the weight of the bull and the number of gumballs in the jar, the crowd is wiser. How would we make that statement? Well, if you take an average of what everyone thinks, then the result is remarkably close to the true number. And then what if you're judging the value of something? And the passage goes on to explain that when you're judging how good something is, you could be manipulated. So if you say that if you rate something on Amazon bad when it's really good, then that doesn't have much of an effect. But if you rate it good when it's really not so great, then that does have an artificial effect of making it get higher ratings than it would otherwise get. So it talks all about that stuff. And then we see the focus shift here. So this ends with, they're more willing to go along with positive opinions from other people, which is kind of what I just said. And then here's a shift in focus. Duncan Watson, network scientist at Microsoft Research in New York City, agrees with that conclusion. One question is whether positive herding bias is specific to the site or true in general. Watts says he points to the category of news in the experiment and had a strong effect on how much people could be manipulated. I would have thought that business is pretty similar to economic, yet they find a much stronger effect, almost 50% stronger than the former than the latter. What explains the difference? So, in other words, artificial upvotes manipulate different categories differently. And what explains that difference? If we're going to apply these findings in the real world, we'll need to know the answers. Will companies be able to boost their products by manipulating online ratings at a massive scale? So you got to watch out on Amazon, because you could get a big company that just like has all its employees say that, give something a positive review, and then it's going to have an artificial positive review and it'll lead to more sales. That is easier said than done. Watt says if people detect or learn that comments on a website are being manipulated, the herd may spook and leave entirely. Okay. And by the way, one other significant fact here that leads us to why another wrong answer is wrong is what we'll get to when we go to the answer choices. So answer choice A, an explanation. So the main focus shifts from a discussion of an experiment and its results to an explanation of the practical applications of the results. That's not true. And it actually said something about here in order for people to, if we're going to apply these findings to the real world, that would be a practical application. So they haven't done it yet. They're saying if we do. And answer choice B, a consideration of the questions prompted by the results. Yes, it goes from a discussion of the experiment to considering those questions as highlighted in those last couple of paragraphs that we just looked at. Okay, looks like that's our correct answer. Answer choice C, an analysis of the defects undermining the results. So undermine means to weaken, and the Defects weakening results is not mentioned. A conversation with a scientist who disputes the results. In the end, the guy says that he agrees with the results, agrees with that conclusion, but then asks some further questions. So that's evidence for D being wrong. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with these shifts in focus in a passage. Is there any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT? Leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.